Well, howdy, folks. James, politicalfriar.com, coming at you again. As promised, this is the video where we're going to talk about the impact of Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesebro. Yeah, Chesebro, not Cheesebro. Their plea deals in the Georgia RICO case coming out of Fulton County. Well, what happened? You had both Sidney Powell and Cheesebro. Yeah, let's just call him Cheese, or the Cheese, as his Harvard classmates called him. Chesbro, Cheesebro. I might slip up. Please forgive me. They both pled guilty to crimes in Georgia in furtherance of the criminal enterprise of overturning the 2020 election results in Georgia. The significance of these crimes lays in the RICO statutory construction. See, you need to have two discrete crimes committed in the enterprise to net everybody who's associated with the enterprise. And Sidney Powell one, and Chesbro two. So check. We now have the requisite number of crimes for a criminal enterprise to then extend itself to folks who maybe even didn't commit crimes, but simply did overt acts in furtherance of that criminal enterprise. And yeah, if all that doesn't make sense, I recorded a video about it that got posted just a little bit before this one on how RICO works. So the primary effect of Sidney Powell and Chesbro's confession is to establish criminal actions and really complete one element of the RICO allegation made against Donald Trump. And let's realize it's about Donald Trump. That's why these two folks got probation for their crimes, because the prosecutor didn't care about punishing them. The prosecutor only cares about getting the ringleaders of the criminal enterprise. And this is what RICO was designed to do. It was designed to allow the low level crimes to be imputed upon the high level bosses, even though the high level bosses never committed any kind of criminal violation. That's the feature of RICO. And it's the reason why people like John Gotti and other mobsters are in jail or died in jail in John Gotti's case. It's because the way that those mobsters worked was they very assiduously never committed a crime, and so their underlings were the only ones who were ever at risk of going to jail. Well, RICO fixed that question mark. I'm not sure about RICO, as you can find out by watching that other video where I describe it. It does seem to be a pretty powerful tool, but it's the law. It's been the law for more than half a century. It's been upheld by the Supreme Courts of every state and the U.S. Supreme Court. So I guess Donald Trump is in trouble now, because with those two crimes being demonstrated, pretty good chance that a jury is going to believe a crime was committed when the person on the stand confesses to it in front of them. With those two crimes as an element of the RICO charge, Miss Willis, the prosecutor in Fulton County, need now prove that Donald Trump was aware and a participant in the criminal enterprise. And that just means that Donald Trump was working to overturn the 2020 election. Doesn't mean he had to commit any crimes, although she did accuse him of committing 12. But he just needs to be a member of the criminal enterprise, which, she can prove by his own tweets, probably. And then that he did one overt act in furtherance of the criminal enterprise, which she can also prove by his own tweets. I think that this isn't looking good just from a pure legal perspective for Team Trump. Now, juries will nullify prosecutors' cases with some regularity, and that very well could be what happens. It also could be that Donald Trump will try to beat Fannie Willis to the punch and win the election before he can be convicted in Georgia. And it also could be that he'll just get convicted in Georgia and keep running, figuring that if he wins, he'll get out. And he might. But just from a purely legal perspective, that's the significance for Donald Trump in Sidney Powell and Chesbro's confessions. Whether they know anything damning in their testimony, we don't know yet. Maybe there's stuff that they'll actually bring up that's bad for Donald Trump, that further implicates him. Maybe they'll bring up stuff that exonerates Donald Trump. Their only obligation is to testify truthfully. Now, exoneration seems unlikely considering what we already know is in the public sphere. Emails from Chesebro saying that, yeah, his legal strategy might appear treasonous. Well, that's because it was. And emails saying, well, there's a 1% chance of the fake elector scheme being upheld in the Supreme Court, but it's good for political reasons. Yeah, those things don't look good for Donald Trump. And so if the testimony from Chesebro and Powell is in line with the stuff that they wrote contemporaneously that is now in the public sphere, I can't think that's going to help him. But that's the story. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and, comment. Tell me how wrong I am down below and what I need to do better, and tell your friends. That's how I'll keep doing these. Thanks.